welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Journey and you are tuning in to my Burr Months Hopefuls. All right, y'all, so first things first, I gotta set the scene. I got an Alani Witch's Brew, okay? I just tried this flavor maybe like last week and I'm obsessed. All right, now we can get started. So all of these books are books that I've had like on my bookshelf or on like my virtual TBR for quite some time, okay? And they all give me like winter fall vibes. All right, these are not books that I want to read when it's 90 degrees outside and I'm at the beach. They don't give me these vibes. Because I am a mood reader, the weather definitely goes into if I'm in the mood to read a book. All right. I'm not reading a book about characters at the beach and it's the dead of winter. I can't do it. I'm not doing that. Sorry. Sorry, no. I can't read a Christmas book and it's July. I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. I just can't do that. Okay, so that's the vibe I'm going for with the set of hopefuls. So let's get into it. And if you don't know what the Burr months are, okay, we have September, October, November, December. All right. So that's a new thing. I literally never heard them called Burr months until this year, but I was like, oh, wait, I kind of love that. So here we are. Here we are with our sack of hopefuls for the Burr months. All right, she's thick. Probably because it's 4 months that I have to read these books. Okay, so I literally have like 0 excuses. Hopefully I get through them. If I don't, that's okay. That's why they're hopefuls instead of a TBR, because I'm not going to make myself read any book that I just simply am not in the mood to read. So there's that. First up is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. So this has been on my bookshelf for almost a year now. I literally got this book last year and I still didn't read it yet. And I am kind of terrified. I mean, do you see how thick this book is? I'm pretty sure it's over 500 pages. Yeah, 560 pages. I don't know if I read a book that long before, so I'm kind of very nervous. Okay, also it's a historical fiction. I am not a huge historical fiction fan, so I'm gonna give you guys basic synopsis of these books. Okay, from most of them, from what I remember off the dome. If it's not right, I'm sorry. A lot of these I'm going in blind a little bit. So from what I remember, this book is about 2 sisters during World War II and they're in France, and it's kind of just about their lives and their sisterhood and all that jazz. I've heard nothing but amazing things about Kristen Hanna, so this will be my very first novel by her, and I'm really excited to dive in because like I just feel like once I start reading her, she may become like a favorite author of mine. I don't know. I just have high hopes for her, for this book, for the writing. Like, I don't know. I'm just really excited to read it. Also, on here, it does say, I have a sticker that says soon to be a major motion picture, and they actually just released that the Fanning sisters, Elle and Dakota Fanning, are going to be the main characters in the movie, and I love them. So I'm kind of really excited to see the movie. And for me to see the movie, I need to read the book first. Okay, I'm that type of person. If I am going to see a movie or a TV show based off of a book, I'm gonna do everything in my power to read that book first. I don't know. I just feel like I need to get tapped into the book, and then I can go into the movie or TV show with like a more open mind, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense. But yeah, super excited to read this. This is probably going to be more of like a November, December book, I'm thinking. I think I need to immersive read this book, so I'm going to probably request the audiobook on Libby because it's historical fiction and I'm not a huge historical fiction girl. I think that it would be best to listen and read it at the same time to fully immerse myself in it and really get into the story. But I'm super excited to read it, okay? And I have high hopes. I will probably do a reading vlog for this. I'm almost positive. So hopefully if I read it, watch out for that. Next up is Do What Godmother Says by L.S. Stratton. So, a book creator that I really enjoy watching and following is Where Is My Library Card, Kayla, and she recently rated this 5 stars. Okay, I really enjoy the books that she recommends. So I was like, okay, let me tap into this. Let me see what it's about and see if it's something that I think I might like. And I think it will be. I think it will be. So I think I will probably read this in October because it's giving me like spooky vibes, you know, Halloween, all that jazz. So the gist of the book is that this young woman inherits a painting from her grandmother, right? And then once she has the painting, a lot of crazy things start happening. A murder happens, but like from years prior, like there's paranoia, like it's a lot of things going on at once, I think, after the young woman gets this painting. So I really don't know what happens, but I know that it started with that painting. Okay, and I need to read it to figure out how it ends. I'm really excited to dive into this one. I've never read anything by L.S. Stratton, or have I heard of them. So I always love reading new authors. So I'm super, super pumped about this one. Okay, y'all, so I'm kind of nervous for these next set of books. And I feel like I've said this time and time again, but I'll reiterate it now. But
the Legendborn series by Tracy Deonn.
I really, really, really want to read this series. At least the first book. I definitely want to read Legendborn. I hope to read Bloodmarked and Oathbound, which is the third book in the series. I do need to get that. I just haven't yet. I want to read this series so bad. It's been on my TBR for some time, and I have basically the whole set almost. I have 2 out of 3 of the books. So I need to get them off my bookshelf. A couple reasons why I'm a little bit nervous to read these books. Look how huge they are. These are so, oh, okay. These are some big books. Legendborn compared to Bloodmarked, that's a significant jump, I think. But I think I recently saw Oathbound, and that is a thick book also. Okay, so first and foremost, they're thick, all right? They're long. Second of all, they're YA. I'm not a huge fan of YA. I've said that multiple times. I don't want to read about children main characters. Bree, when the series starts, she's 16. I don't know. I don't know about that. And then also it's fantasy. And I'm like just dipping my toe into getting into fantasy and liking fantasy and everything. So I feel like reading a YA fantasy is going to like throw me all off, you know, because it's like double not the vibe. But I've heard nothing but amazing things, and I really just want to tap in because I think I will like it. I just need to like get over the hurdle in my mind of like thinking that I'm not going to like it, because I do also think that I will like it, if that makes sense. For this one, I also am going to do an immersive reading. I think that will give me the best foot forward into liking it. So I actually have already requested the audiobook on Libby. I think I have maybe like 3 or 4 weeks until it's available. But yeah, what this series is about. So for the first book, I'll just go over the first book because I honestly don't know what this is about because I haven't read the first one. So Legendborn is about Bree. She is at this program for high schoolers where they are on a college campus because like they're like really smart or something like that. And it's about a secret society. There's flying demons feeding on human energies. And her mom died. It also pulls from like King Arthur. It's a lot going on. All right, that gave you probably no context at all. I was kind of like all over the place, but just check it out, okay? Because I do think that it's going to be a really great book, so I'm really excited to read it. Hopefully I do read it. We'll see. We will see. Okay, and now we have Tempted by Danger by Endiya Carter. So I was not familiar with Miss Endiya Carter's game. All right, a couple weeks ago, I was on Threads and she was releasing the Danger Family series on paperback, like on her website. I believe that she does not do this super often, or maybe this was the first time that she's done this, but basically everyone in the book community on Threads was freaking out. All right. I mean, everybody was like, it's like basically the Hunger Games. Everybody was fighting to get these books. And I was like, whoa, I'm having real bad FOMO because I've never heard of these books, never heard of this author. What's going on? I need to catch up. Okay. So I was like, let me tap in. So all of these books are on Kindle Unlimited, which is really awesome. I love a KU book because it's the best of both worlds. It's already on my Kindle. I can get it, return it, love it. Anyways, so from what I have gathered from this book is that it is a workplace romance, and that is really about it. I honestly don't know anything else about this book or the rest of the series. The blurb on Goodreads is literally like a very short and sweet paragraph, and that's it. So yeah, I'm very, very intrigued. But all of the reviews on Goodreads are like basically 5 stars, and everybody in the book community really likes it. So I'm excited to read it because I think I'm gonna like it also. Now I have The Art of Scandal by Regina Black. First things first, get into this cover. Get into this cover. Yes. Like, I look at it and I'm like, ah. Literally, it's just like so sexy and sensual, and just, they're taking it. They're really taking it. Okay. So super excited to read this because I've heard really good things about Regina Black as an author. I haven't read anything by her, but she recently came out with a new novel that I also want to read because everyone is talking about how good it is. But this has been on my bookshelf for some time. So I was like, let me read this first, and then I'll check out her newest novel if I'm feeling this one. Second of all, this book is dealing with like politics and a politician's wife type of thing, and we're currently in like an election year for my state. In November, we are voting for like the governor and a whole bunch of other stuff, and so I was like, I kind of want to read something politicky because that's all basically that I'm seeing ads for and stuff like that. Is politicky a word?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Did I just make that up? I think I did. Oh well. Anyways, let's get into what this book is about. All right. So it's about Rachel, who finds out her husband is cheating on her. SMH. Anyways, he is a mayor with an eye on the White House, and he can't really afford them to get divorced because he's currently in a re-election campaign. Of course. He wasn't thinking about that when he was cheating on his wife, though. Yeah. Anyways, so they strike a deal that Rachel gets $1 million, and she also gets the house that they have in like some wealthy DC suburb, as long as she continues to be his wife. Okay. Then she meets Nathan, okay, who is quite younger than her, and he's an artist. Obviously, they do something, okay? And so basically the story is about their love story and them trying to figure it out and this and the third. All right. I think I might do a reading vlog for this. I feel like I need to, okay? I'm excited to read it, hopefully, and see what happens with Rachel and Nathan, okay? Because they are really taking it. They really are taking it, and I'm excited to read about them. Next up is Beartown by Fredrik Backman. This has been on my TBR for some time, and I have not read anything by this author, but I've heard great things about him, and I'm really interested to read his writing. Also, this is a TV show, I believe, on HBO Max, and so I want to watch the TV show, so I need to read the book, okay? Yeah. This story is about a hockey team, and they're on their way to the semifinals for the first time in quite some time, but something happens with a young girl in town. It doesn't say in the blurb, but I'm assuming it's a sexual assault case. I don't know for sure, but that's what I'm assuming it is because it just says that like this traumatic event happens with some of the guys on the team and this young girl. So I don't know. I'm just kind of putting two and two together. So I think basically it is about the fallout from that event and how everything goes down, because this is set in a small town. So I think that this will be really interesting, and I'm excited to read it. I think it's going to be good. It's rated pretty highly on Goodreads. This is also a series, so that's interesting. But I am kind of going in this a little bit blind, but I don't necessarily hate that. I'm a little nervous, but also, I don't know. But because it's hockey, that's why I'm thinking that this is like a Burr month book, because I don't want to read about a hockey team in the summer. So, yeah. This is the only nonfiction book that I have on my hopeful list for the Burr months, and that is The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. So I've heard really great things about this. It's a program, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Yep. Okay, it says program on here. So it's basically a 12-week program for writers, poets, actors, painters, musicians, and creative people in all walks of life. Okay, so I'm doing YouTube and book talk and bookstagram and all that fun creative content stuff. So I really want to do this program to kind of tap into that side and kind of maybe just kind of dig deeper into my creative side and kind of like why I want to do, content and stuff like that. I've just heard really good things about it, and that it has really opened up people's minds to their like creative side and their creative mind and stuff like that. So I think this will be really great to do during the next couple of months, because it'll kind of get me like locked and loaded for Q1 next year, and also just kind of finishing out this year in a really good mindset creatively, and kind of just thinking about my next steps with next year, and like kind of like planning out content and what I want, my socials to be like and all of that stuff. So yeah. I'm excited though, and I need to go ahead and start it. I feel like I need to start it like ASAP. I've had this book for years actually, and I've never even looked in it. Oh, but this is so cool. It's like different exercises that you can do. It's basically a workbook. That's actually really dope. Okay, so I might start this tomorrow. I'm very excited to start this. Okay, now I'm really excited. Yeah. Yeah, okay, Up next, I have Hear My Heart by Tay Monet. So I saw this book on Threads, I think, and this is by a Black indie author, and I love Black indie authors. I really want to showcase them more on my channel, so that is a goal of mine in the next coming months, is to really do more Black indie author reading vlogs and maybe just shout them out a lot more than I have been. Look at the cover. It's just such a cutesy cover, and it's really giving me fall. It's giving me cozy fall romance. So I was like, okay, let me look up what it's about and see if it'll be something that I would like to read. And it looks like something I would like to read. So I was like, add it to the TBR on my Burr hopeful list. Thank you. Okay. So Hear My Heart is about Nakira, who is deaf, but everyone in her family is hearing. And so there's a lot of family issues that comes with that, apparently. And then she meets Rome, and apparently he is forbidden for some reason. And basically the story is about like their love story and how it's a forbidden love, but of course they eventually get together probably. I don't know. Maybe they don't. And then also her family dynamic. And so what really drew me to this is that the main character is deaf, and I really enjoy reading books about characters who have different disabilities and different perspectives of their lives. I think that's really, really cool, and such a different point of view that this character can like be able to give readers. So I'm really, really excited to read this, because I'm really excited to kind of see Nakira's point of view, and then also see how Rome, fits into her life as a hearing person, because I'm pretty sure he is not deaf. So yeah, all around super excited to just see this different POV in this book. Next is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. So I'm really excited about this book because I've never read anything by V.E. Schwab, and I feel like she is an author that I would enjoy, maybe. So I really want to just read a book by her to just see if I would enjoy other books by her, because I believe she recently came out with Bury Our Bodies in the Midnight Soil, and I've heard really great things about that book, but because I haven't read her before, I'm kind of iffy about reading her newest release. I don't know why, but so I was like, let me tap in to some other books by her. And I came across this book, and this book sounds kind of spooky and just giving me like weird kooky vibes, okay? So Vicious is about two college friends who are doing their like theses on adrenaline and near-death experiences. And then something goes wrong and one of them ends up in jail. And it's like 10 years later, and the guy that ends up in jail breaks out to go visit the other guy. Okay? And then the story kind of follows the fallout from that, I believe. So yeah, I'm very intrigued. Like, what the heck happened 10 years ago? How did he break out of jail? What does he want now 10 years later? Like, I have so many questions, and I've heard really great things about this book. The Goodreads rating of this book is pretty high. I think it's like a 4.1, 4.2. So yeah, I definitely will probably be reading this in October, I think. So now I have The Black Queen by Jumata Emill. So I really want to read this book during the Burr months because it is about the first Black homecoming queen at this high school in a small town, right? But someone kills her. What? And so basically the story is about her best friend trying to solve her murder and like get her justice. I'm pretty sure homecoming season is like September, October, and so that's basically why I want to read this during this time. But also it's very intriguing. Like, who killed her? Why? What's up? Also kind of nervous because I think this is a YA novel as well, because she's a homecoming queen at a high school, but it's also like a thriller suspense, and I really, really like those type of books. So I think that I'll be okay with this one. I haven't really heard anything about this book or this author, so this is a new book and new author for me, so that's exciting, and I hope I like it, but I think I will. This cover though is super dope. I'm kind of obsessed. That's also what drew me to this book, is the cover. Like, it's really, really, really dope. So yeah. Next is Dominion by Addie E. Citchens. So this is a recent release that has been all over my socials, and literally everyone is obsessed with it. This cover is crazy. Okay, well, not crazy, but just like, it's very interesting. Okay, so the cover is really interesting, so that's first and foremost. And then second of all, this book is about a church family in a small town, and there's 5 boys in the family, and I believe that their parents are the pastor and first lady of this church, and it's about one of the boys in particular, I believe the youngest, if I'm not mistaken, and kind of there's small town secrets. It's a lot going on with the parents and all of these things. Okay, so it's a really interesting dynamic. So I had to add it to my Burr months hopefuls because this just seems like a book that I need to read immediately. So I'm really excited to tap into it. I believe this is the author's debut novel, and I've just heard really great things about it. So I'm really ready to tap in. Now I have Lights Out by Navessa Allen. All right, this is a dark romance. And honestly, I don't know if I'm a dark romance girly. I can't tell you what possessed me to get this book. I'm pretty sure that I just kept seeing it everywhere and I was getting really bad FOMO. So I was like, okay, fine, I'm gonna get it. So this is a stalker romance. which I have read one of those before and it wasn't my favorite. So I'm kind of intrigued about this one because I've heard such great things about it, but I just don't know. I'm a little nervous. So this is about a nurse who follows like a faceless account online and somehow they connect and they like live out their dark fantasies together, but then somehow she gets a stalker. I hope I'm remembering that correctly because yeah. So I don't think I explained that well, but that's kind of all I got because the back of this book is very, very like, it's not really giving me too much. So I can't give y'all that much. Okay. But yeah, I think I might like it. I don't know. I'm a little nervous, but this is definitely like an October book. Maybe September. I'll see, but most likely October. Now I have We Don't Talk About Carol by Kristen L. Berry. So this is a suspense thriller mystery novel that I've heard really good things about. The reviews on Goodreads are basically all 4 and 5 stars. So I'm really interested to read this. This is about a young woman who is going through her grandmother's things after her grandmother passes away, and she finds a photograph. And the photograph is of a young girl that she's never seen before, but looks really similar to the women in her family. And she's like, who is this girl? Who is this? What's going on? And it turns out that the young girl in the photograph, Carol, is her aunt that went missing when she was a young girl. So now the main character, the young woman, Sydney, she has unearthed this deep, dark family secret, and she's a journalist. And so she's not letting this just rest. All right. So the story is about her trying to figure out what happened to Carol, why the family doesn't talk about her, what the heck is going on. And so I think it's going to be really good. I think it'll be really interesting to see the family dynamics in this book. And also, I want to know what the hell happened to Carol. This will definitely probably be an October book for sure. Maybe November. We'll see. But I'm definitely excited to dive into it. 2 words. Razorblade Tears. Okay? Yes. Razorblade Tears by S.A. Cosby is the next book on my hopefuls for the Burr months, okay? This is a book that I am very nervous to read. I can't tell you why. I think that reading S.A. Cosby just, it gives me, I don't know, it makes me nervous to read him because I just know that it's going to raise my blood pressure, okay? So earlier this year, I read my first S.A. Cosby novel, which was King of Ashes, and it was amazing. Loved it. Literally so good. That is a phenomenal author. Okay, so I'm super, super excited to read another book by him, but also I'm very nervous because I just know that this book is about to be crazy as hell. I know it is, all right? So Razorblade Tears is about 2 fathers, one black, one white, and their sons are married, but they are murdered. And the book follows the fathers on their quest for vengeance because they never really saw eye to eye with their sons being gay, and they feel a lot of guilt regarding that. And then also it's like they were murdered, so they're like, WTF, who murdered them? Also, both of the fathers have been like in and out of jail, so there's also that aspect to it as well. I don't know what aspect that would be, but I think that's important to note because they note it in the blurb. So yeah, it's a quest for vengeance and just trying to figure out who killed their sons. And I'm really nervous because I feel like these dads are not playing around. I can just already feel that they're not playing around. They're going to find out who killed their sons, and it's not going to be pretty for anybody that stands in their path of trying to figure out who did this. So I'm excited to read it, a little nervous, but I know it's going to be amazing. So we'll see if I read it. I'll let you guys know. I might do a reading vlog. We'll see. Okay, y'all. So last but certainly not least, rounding out my Burr month hopeful list is just can't get enough by Kennedy Ryan. First off, get into the cover. Get into the cover. Oh, she's a beauty. She's so beautiful. Okay, I've had this book on my shelf for the longest time. Ever since it came out. I believe this came out back in like April, March, May, one of those months. I've had it on my shelf since then. I have not been able to bring myself to read this book just simply because I do not want the Skyland series to end. Like, I love this series so much. These books are some of the books that got me back into reading, and they're just so special and near and dear to my heart. And this book, especially because last weekend I went to the National Book Festival in Washington, D.C., and I got this signed by Miss Kennedy Ryan herself. And it just makes this so much more special, and I really just can't wait to read it now. Like, look at that. Stop. Oh, wait, pause. Y'all gotta see the picture. Yes, I got a picture. Literally, Kennedy Ryan was so sweet. I was actually pretty close to the front of the line. I waited about like an hour and a half or so, and she was so sweet. She really made like everyone feel so special, and you could just tell that she really cares about her fans and the readers, and it was just like the best thing ever. I'm so excited to read this book now, and so I want to read this before next year. I don't want to go into next year not finishing this series, so I was like, let me go ahead and put it on my hopeful list because it needs to get done. So I'm sad, but I'm really happy to be finishing this series, and heard really good reviews about it. So I think the series is ending on a good note. This is about Hendrik's story, and Hendrik is the third friend in the trio of friends that the Skyland series is all about. And I'm really intrigued about diving deeper into her story because she's childless. She is a caretaker for a ailing parent. I believe her mother has dementia or Alzheimer's, and kind of diving deeper into what that looks like. I think that'll be really interesting. And then also she's just like a boss babe. Like, she's like an executive producer or something like that. And she's just like, just from her cameos in the other books, I am just obsessed with her. And so I'm really, really excited to have a whole book just for her. And also the main male character's name in this is named Maverick, and I love that name, so I'm really, really excited to read about them. And yeah, I think it's gonna be really good. I will do a reading vlog for this just because I have done a reading vlog for the other books in this series, and so I have to finish it off with a reading vlog. I mean, I don't make the rules. Actually, I do make the rules, so that's the rule. I have to make a reading vlog. So this is definitely getting read, hopefully. Don't hold me to that. Okay, y'all, so there we have it, my Burr month's hopefuls. And I'm really excited about these. I think I'm going to get through quite a bit of them. I have a game plan for a lot of them, so I feel like I got this. I feel very good in my decision in these, and I'm super pumped. If you have any hopefuls or TBR for fall and winter, let me know. I want to see what you guys are reading, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks. Bye. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, sorry y'all. I don't know if I'm gonna keep that in there. I just might. Anyways.